What up, fam? What up? What up? What up? Running late. Do the calls. Had to get a little work done. Y'all understand? Got to keep them donuts. Keep them made. Something a little different right here since Facebook is playing games with me. Give y'all a minute. Hey, Marie Green, what's going on? How are you? What are those things going by? Hey, Miss Taffy, what's going on? Think you a first timer, huh? I'm sorry. Oh, Marie, I ain't even started drinking yet. Anderson, everything good? Can y'all hear me pretty clear? All right. Time is 6:20, so I'm running a little bit behind, but like I said, I had work to do. And y'all know I gotta keep the bills paid. Oh. Get my bow tie ready so I can tie it just in case I get the request again. It's a pretty informal show. Thank you for joining me. This is Random Thoughts with DVP, and I am DVP. What's up, Adrian? Happy birthday! You still partying, celebrating 25, 26? Which one is it? I've been good, but I ain't got nothing against Leos, but I'm a Cancer. Cancer rule all day long. Y'all know what it is. How you been? I don't think I ever seen you on the show, Anderson. Make sure you go to the page at the top and click on that link so you can like my show page. Want to know who's watching your video? Swipe left. I don't even know which way left is. Left is that way or left is that way? I don't know how to do this. D, what's good? That's right. I'm supposed to swipe that love. Big Mo, what's happening? What's happening with you? All right. Make sure y'all go to the page at the top and like the page. Me and Facebook going through a battle right now. Hey, beautiful. How are you? Yeah, me and Facebook going through a little battle right now. They don't like DVP, so I ain't sure how much longer they gonna let the page stay up. But y'all know what it is anyway. Let me start off with, y'all know I'm gonna do that last. All right, y'all know how it is. I'm still working, trying to get some things done. All right, anyway, here's the infamous door. If y'all ain't never watched the Flintstones, y'all gotta watch it. Then y'all will understand the door thing. I need to talk to you too, beautiful. But I'll get you after the show. So yeah, I ain't locked out. That's the bathroom. I'm just sitting here doing my thing, watching the winds go by. But I ain't gonna sing. Today is the 20th. What's up, James? I've been trying to do a couple of things. I did get picked up for a little web series. I'm gonna update more on that later, as we finalize some things. So I'm gonna try my hand at acting and see how that goes. Got a couple of shoots scheduled. I've been picked for a team to I'm always by myself on my own until I get out back in the public. That's kind of how it's gonna be. I've been picked for a team. We're gonna do the classic gents versus the classic young boys. But it's gonna be classic still. Oh, see, the bow tie started from scratch now. I'm gonna do this a couple of times. Hey, Veronica. Oh, dang, what I want to do. Get this right. So anyway. Hey, Mary Anthony, I sent you something asking you what you want me to talk about. You ain't never respond back to me. I'm feeling some kind of way. But I'm glad to see you here with me live. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? All right, now, for those of y'all that's on my personal page, I need for y'all to click that link at the top and make sure y'all like my show page. Which Mr. B? Not that Mr. B. Tell Mr. B I say, what's up? Maybe I'll come up there and do my show. So y'all got me straight. I'm doing too much today. It ain't this hard for real. Y'all can see I'm doing it while I'm doing this show. All right. Anyway, I've been noticing a couple of things. Yeah, I know I like to wait for more evidence to come out before I speak on some of the hot topics, like the girl in the freezer, because I'm seeing a bunch of these videos. What's up, Mason? With these people mocking her friend, and this is all I'm gonna say about that right now, because everything came in. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. A lot of things so far that I've seen it went wrong, but before I pass judgment, I'm gonna give it another week and let some more evidence come out, and then I'm gonna make a comment probably next week about it. But these videos of people mocking her friend, they are, I want to call it classless, but we deal with humor in different ways. Cops have the worst humor, probably along with firemen and paramedics, because of what they do. And it's generally reserved when you're in those environments, because it's just how you deal with tragedy. Sometimes it's through weird or, dark humor. But for them to be posting some of the things they're posting, and I guess it's a matter of knowing who your friends are or aren't, that's just, I know they're not picking at the girl's death, they're picking at her friend, but it's the same thing. But I can't really sit here and honestly hold them at fault for that, because, like I say, those of y'all that know me know I was a cop. There's some things that we have really dark humor about, but we only say it amongst each other, because it's one of the coping mechanisms. And that's why when people say cops are insensitive, well, the job requires you to be insensitive on a certain level, and I'm gonna get into that later. So I didn't like the videos I saw, but I didn't understand them initially. And even after I understand them, I don't like them. But, for instance, I have an autistic son. So I have made autistic jokes, but I make them with my select crew. I don't make them with everybody. But it's something that I can joke about, and I don't take it that serious when other people joke about it. It's one of those things I do understand, because people do what they do. You can't hold everybody to a certain standard, and nobody's super serious all the time. We all have to joke to get out of certain things. People joke about divorce, people joke about death, people joke about a lot of things. So that part I'm not hell-bent on doing. The UGA student or the Georgia Tech student? Because I saw a couple of videos on the Georgia Tech student, and what I want to do is I'm going to talk about, the thing is I want to talk about is some of the rights, not necessarily whether the shoot was a good or bad shoot. Because I've only seen one video, I think, so far. Is that the shoot you're talking about, Mason? Because I don't think I've seen anything about a UGA shoot yet, but I've been off Facebook for a minute. Randolph, what's good? All right. Yeah. So let's talk about Law and Order first. And, if you watch the show for any amount of time, I will defend cops when they're right, but I will also tell you when cops are wrong. What's up, Randolph? What's up, Heather? Because there's a fine line, and a lot of it boils down to training. But let me say this, because I talk about you and your rights all the time. And I'm gonna tell you this, and take this from me, because I was a trainer, and I know a lot of things about this. And since we are talking Georgia, I can speak as an expert. Cops do not have a right to shoot you. Black, white, red, indifferent, whatever. And people keep saying me, well, when they scared, they can do this. Well, let me just say this, and I'm gonna be really, really clear on this. What's up, young son, nephew? For a cop to shoot you legally, and this is important, ladies and gentlemen, for a cop to legally shoot you, him being afraid is not the benchmark. I'm gonna just say this: as a cop, no matter how you feel about us, most of the time we should be afraid. That's how we survive. So that's not a reason to shoot. It's a reason to be more cautious. It's a reason to take my time. It's a reason why certain things take so long, because I want to make sure that I'm doing this slow and right and paying attention. All right. So when I hear people say, "Oh, he was afraid, he shot because he was scared," even if I use the phrase "I was in fear of my life," which is close to being good, close. but it's not the catch-all. For a cop to use deadly force, 3 things have to occur at a minimum. And I teach 4, but 3 have to occur. The first is you have to present some kind of real threat to me that will equate to loss of limb or life to me or somebody around me. All right? You need to present some kind of weapon. The fact that you telling me stuff doesn't really cut it. If you're across the street, that doesn't cut it. You gotta be in the vicinity to hurt me. You gotta have a way to hurt me, and you have to commit some kind of act that says you're gonna hurt me. I don't even have one. But just saying I got a gun, I'm gonna shoot you, that won't do it. You can't shoot because somebody says something. This is the law. This ain't got nothing to do with police policy. This is the law for cops, especially in Georgia. I'm gonna say it's in most places, but it's especially in Georgia. Ability, opportunity, and jeopardy are the 3 words that you have to use. Somebody that has to have the ability to hurt you, they have to have the opportunity, and they have to put you in physical jeopardy. All 3 have to be at the same time. Now, the 4th one that I started teaching was preclusion, which means they have to commit an overt act. So let's just say, I got my little sprayer here. Let's just say somebody's saying something. And let's just say, for practical purposes, this door is the cop. So I'm walking and you can see the gun in my hand. Okay? So ability is right there because you can see a gun in my hand. Opportunity is there because you're in the same place as me. Jeopardy and preclusion means you have to do something. Not what if, not he coulda, not yada yada yada. Because technically, every time I drop my arm, I can shoot you. The law won't allow that. Well, it will allow that. I don't have to be shot at. But let's just say a cop behind me is talking. The door is a cop because I don't have anybody here with me right now. The minute I start to turn like this, he can shoot because I have the gun in my hand. He doesn't have to see my gun on my finger on the trigger. The gun is in my hand. This is enough. This will cause preclusion because now I'm turning toward him. So now all the threats are real because realistically speaking, as long as I'm facing this way, he's in no real jeopardy. Okay? Even though I have ability and opportunity because we're in the same place at the same time and I have a gun. Ladies and gentlemen, understand. A lot of you are lay people, which means you don't understand a lot of things about law enforcement. Now, I ain't justifying nothing because I don't know everything. But the things that people are making guns out of now, cell phones, flashlights, there's a lot of things you can make guns out of. So when people say, oh, it was just a phone, well, I can show you cell phone guns. The infamous blue, my secret drink. Y'all know what it is. So sometimes when I see videos with phones and stuff, when people are saying drop it, when cops are saying drop it, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care how you feel about your phone, whether you got an iPhone 10 or whatever. If a cop tells you to drop your gun, you should, if he tells you to drop whatever's in your hand, drop it. There's nothing that you can hold in your hand that is that important. Okay? Even as it relates to books. Y'all seen these little crazy movies where people got guns in books? So understand the height level. You can sit back and say as a lay person, it's not a gun, it's not a gun. But if you come to one of my classes and I show you how well people hide guns in belt buckles, in phones, there's a comb gun, there's a pick gun. There's a lot of different ways that people are hiding guns. There's even a camera gun. So people will say, oh, yeah, in hindsight, you can look and tell everything what it ain't. But my job is to teach officer survival. But that don't mean the officers can take advantage of the situation. There's a responsibility on both sides, and education is the key. I haven't watched the whole video, but I see people saying what a cop should do. He should have used a taser. Sounds good. Georgia Tech doesn't carry tasers. Lots of people don't like tasers because, oh, you can kill somebody with a taser and you can't kill nobody. Tasers elevate you. So if you're not on speed, it won't. No, sir, I'm giving... Randolph, you've been in my class. So now the Citizen Survival course, even though it kind of is, it's a rights for everybody course. Because I want to hold cops accountable when they do something wrong. And I want to hold citizens accountable for jump to conclusions for things they don't know anything about. So when you get approached, officers have a duty and they have a responsibility, and their responsibility is to make sure they go home and that you go home. And understand this, make no bones about this, that's the priority. As a cop, I want to make sure I go home first. I want you to go home second. But more important than anything else is me. I ain't going to veer around that. So if I'm giving you commands, whether you like them or not, as best you can, if it doesn't put you in danger, and don't give me this about all cops are killers, because that's as dumb as saying all black people kill. But just like you can find a video with cops killing, I can find videos with black people killing. So let's not mix matters and start talking about who's worse or yada yada yada. Because as I've done this poll more than once and asked people how many of y'all got pulled over by cops, and everybody who answered me, they didn't get killed. So quit saying that cops kill. It's just the dumbest shit going. There are some bad cops. There are some good cops who have to kill people sometimes. It's not because they want to. It's just because that's a position that people pull themselves into. If you don't believe me, Mason spoke of it earlier. Look up. Y'all got Google. Most of y'all got smartphones. Look up suicide by cop, where people do things because they're suicidal, but they scared of suicidal. They don't want to kill themselves, so they want somebody else to do it. So they keep doing things to make cops have to. There's no real training for this. I can tell cops a lot of different things, but in that moment when their adrenaline is flowing and that the threat is to them, I can't tell them, oh, keep waiting, keep looking for this, because what if it's not a suicide by cop? What if it's somebody who's just waiting to take advantage? Remember now, my history says that I also learned how to kill cops from being in a gang, using some of these same techniques. So this is where I need for everybody to be safe, because I can give it to you from both sides, because in case you had noticed, I happen to be a black man. I just happen to be a cop. I didn't carry a taser because I had to be tased. I was issued a handgun and never had to be shot. And cops feel different ways about tasers. I got tased 3 or 4 times. I was an instructor taser, and you have to get shot with it to use it. I understand what Mason is saying, but I'm an opponent. I'm sorry, not an opponent. I'm a proponent for less lethal force. I've been tased more times than I care to remember. I went to Aspeton. If it was an impact weapon or less than lethal, chances are I took it so that I could teach it. I had nunchucks. I had PR-24. There's a bunch of different things I had, but that was just who I was. Lots of departments don't like these things because what happens is when you give these less lethal force options, what happens is you end up seeing cops beating people up. Well, why do you have to hit them so many times? Well, the strategy is the same all the time. Until the threat stops, you don't stop. So if I'm telling somebody to use a baton, to use a taser, if they're still moving, they haven't stopped. And which is why it's so crucial that you pay attention. And understand that this is when we're talking legal matters, because people always want to say what cops should or shouldn't do. But if you've never walked that mile, it's a hard thing to judge. It's like me trying to tell a pregnant woman what they should do. I've never been pregnant. I can't tell a pregnant woman how much attention she should pay to this, that, or I don't know this. I do know law enforcement. I do know being a black man. I do know being a private citizen. I do know being a veteran. I've done these things. So I can speak from firsthand knowledge. I teach these things. I can speak from firsthand knowledge. In the aftermath, like Monday morning quarterback, everybody can say what should have happened. But unless you're there, don't get me wrong. I've seen some cop shootings that were bad, and I identified those. I've seen some that everybody wanted me to say were bad, but based on all the available information, they weren't bad. Well, and Richard, and I do this when people ask me to come out. You know me. I mean, I've done these in real life settings. I'm just doing this today because of some things that came to me from the Georgia Tech shooting. And the great thing, Randolph's somebody I trained. The greatest thing about letting me talk to people is I'm not employed by any agency now, so I don't have to give you political answers or tell you what you can and can't do. I can tell you the truth. What up, Saga? I'm still waiting to be on your show. I should have been on the last one you was talking about this kind of stuff. But I can tell you the truth as it relates to how everybody's at fault. And a lot of this goes to training. And a lot of agencies now, and I speak on this all the time, a lot of agencies are at fault because they don't put you through a stressful training. I talked about this a little bit last show. The new agencies, these new agencies want college graduates. Once again, I have nothing against college graduates, but back when I got hired, you had to have a customer service job. That was rule number one. College graduates, it was cute, but having a customer service job was the most important thing. And I'm gonna tell you why. In my opinion, they need to go back to customer service people, because once you've had a job in customer service, be it a teller, a shoe salesman, whatever, you learn how to deal with people who talk nasty to you, because nobody has a customer service job where everybody's pleasant. But what you learn is that words don't hurt you and they affect you a whole lot less. Now you're on the right page, Brenda. And as you learn how to do these things, you don't feel as threatened because you've heard people talk to you in tones before. Once again, I'm not knocking college people, but if you go from high school to college, when did you ever have a stressful conversation? I mean, when were you ever put in a stressful position with somebody who's threatening to whoop your ass, who's threatening to come over the counter? I mean, based on, and this is dark humor, based on what we need now for cops, you know who the best cops would be? These Indians that work at these convenience stores, because people talk crazy mad shit to them. They don't have any bulletproof glass. Most of them don't have guns or anything. They just look at people like, hey, whatever, get out of my face. That's the mentality that the old school cops had, because most of us were street people. But we had some BS job where we had to deal with people. So we learned how to talk to people. And this is where, I'm selfish. I distinguish between cops and sheriffs. Most sheriffs have to start off in a jail with no gun. You learn how to talk to people. I'm not knocking cops. They just miss that part of training. Because a lot of people don't want to work in jail because of the sheer numbers, and I can understand that too. But it's probably the most crucial part of the training, is having that personal interaction with people who are hostile, because you learn how to deal with them. You learn how to use verbal judo, how to de-escalate, how to let people vent. Most people who are venting don't really mean they don't really mean what they're saying. They just need to vent. What's up, Tommy? So this is part of what you have to go through. And once again, I'm not going to get into specifics of the Georgia Tech case. I'm going to get into the specifics of training and telling people these are some options when the police stop you. Because I saw this on the show last night. All right, law and order. The only time you have to show identification, the only time legally from a cop standpoint, is if you're driving a vehicle. What's up, DeMario? Now, there are other times you have to show it, but it's not because of the law. Sometimes it's because of where you live. Most public housing says you have to keep identification on you all the time as long as you're in the public housing unit. They got a lot of different rules that apply to cops that work those areas, and we know these. So it may not be a state law, but if you stay in, and these don't exist on board, but let's say if you stayed in Bankhead Court. Bankhead Court contract said that you had to have your ID on you all the time, and it had to have a Bankhead Court address. See, people sign this stuff and then read it. So that's how Atlanta was able to lock a lot of people up for trespassing and other things, because even if they lived there, the ID didn't say it. And it was a clause in their contract, because I saw these contracts. The idea behind college was to view law enforcement as a profession. I believe that's why academies are moving toward college campus to earn an associate's degree. We need a combination of both customer service and education. I agree, customer service first. I believe all workers should walk a footbeat as part of FTO. And that makes sense, because they're missing out on it. And like I said, I'm not knocking college students, but if you haven't had that time to talk to people, and that's all you do, where you have to listen to people bitching and griping, excuse the expression, but you don't get it the first time you get that verbal aggression, you don't know what to do, because if somebody's running up on you talking about what they're gonna do. I'm gonna use Randolph for example. I use Mason. When people start telling us that we don't sweat it, we're not grabbing our gun first. We're going to first take a step back and assess the threat and see if they're just talking. Because I tell people all the time, I know when somebody want to fight me for one simple reason. They will hit me. Once you hit me, I know that you want to fight. When you just talking, 9 times out of 10, you just want to vent about something. So I'm cool with that. I will let you vent. I will let you talk shit about me, my profession, my family. As long as you're 12 feet away from me and you're just venting. Because sometimes I ain't shit. Sometimes my family ain't shit. Sometimes my coworkers ain't shit. I agree with you, so I'm going to listen to you vent. Now, when you make that step aggressive step toward me, or you reach out to touch me, that's when the problem's gonna start. But everybody's not that cool, calm, and collected. Understand? And I try to explain this to people. I've even gotten in trouble before for not shooting people. It's like, Bell, why you shoot him? Well, Bell, back in the day, I'm retired now. Back in the day, was one hell of a fighter. So I look forward to the fight. So there were times that I needed for people to get close to me because I would give them that because I knew I could fight. So unless they did something that was super duper over my head, there wasn't much that I couldn't stop without using force. But that was me. By the same token, had I chosen to shoot somebody, I was already vindicated, because for me to pull my gun meant a lot of things were going wrong. So I'm thinking there's a lot of times that if I'd have shot somebody, nobody would have questioned me because everybody knew that I wanted to fight. So for me not to fight first meant that I had ability, opportunity, jeopardy, and preclusion already in my favor. And there are fights that I did with all this. I fought people with knives. I fought people with guns. Part of that was me being stupid and young. And people say, oh, more people should be like you. But they didn't come from my lifestyle. And this is what people don't get about the profession. And if you don't understand who it is we deal with, that we deal with people who have suicide by cop tendencies. We deal with people some people want to go to jail. Some people truly don't like cops. Like some cops truly don't like people. But I don't shoot people. I like being a smart ass. But back to where your standing is as a citizen, as a cop. When I stop you, if you're in a vehicle, if you're driving, you have to present a valid Georgia license. I'm sorry, a valid driver's license, not a state ID. You need a valid Georgia license if you're driving. That is the law. Now, see, we got playroom here. If you don't have a license, I can radio in your information and verify it true or not. So it's not a crucial area, but it's still the law that you need to have a license when you're driving. It don't say, there's no exceptions to say, oh, unless you just run around the store to the corner, that you don't have to have it. There's not an exception. Okay? That's where we use our discernment. Okay? Now, everybody that's a passenger, there's nothing that a passenger ever has to have. Ever. Ever, never. Don't let nobody tell you different. One of the reasons that good cops will ask other people for a license is because if I think the driver's impaired, all right, I pulled over a couple one night. The guy was clearly, I was behind him. For what I saw, I'm going to say he was drunk, but he was crossing lanes. Had I been a traffic cop, I probably would have did more. But I was on my way to another car. But I couldn't bypass his vehicle because I need to see if he's drunk. Oh, I need to see what's going on. Maybe he's just in something else. Okay? So I pulled him over. He's been drinking. That's clear. But his wife is bitching. The lady in the car is bitching something fierce. While I was there trying to talk to him, she drove me crazy. He admitted he was drinking. I think he wanted to go to jail just to get out the car. But again, I have somewhere I need to be. It's not a priority call, but it's close because somebody's waiting on me. So he showed me his license. He said he'd been drinking. I can smell it on his breath. But he's coherent, just not to where I'm comfortable. I asked her if she has a license. The purpose of asking her if she has a license, because if she can drive, I can go on about my business. Because now all I want them to do is trade places. Legally, I don't have the right to make him let her drive. Legally, I don't. But problem solving 101 says if I can avoid this arrest, which is going to take me 30, 40 minutes out of my way, and I got somewhere I need to be in 20 minutes, which is more of a pressing issue. She showed me her license. I asked him, hey, do you mind letting her drive? He thought about it and said, no. I said, cool. Y'all need to switch seats? They swapped seats. I gave him his license. I got back in my car. He jumped out and said, that's it? I was like, what else do you want me to do? He said, I ain't going to jail. I was like, not unless you want to, but I'm going to have to get another car to come get you because I can't take you to jail right now. And, he just looked at me. Okay, but the point of the story is she needed ID just so she could drive the vehicle. So when cops are asking you certain things, there's certain rights that you have to have. Now, and what I left out, some of the good parts of the story, but when we stop you, because I saw this somewhere, and I've been through this, when a cop stops you, His obligation is to tell you why he stopped you, not to ask you, do you know why? He has to tell you why he stopped you. And most agencies will say that he needs to identify himself, his agency, and tell you why. Okay? This is the law. Hey, Deputy Bell from Fulton County Sheriff's Office. The reason I stopped you is because you were crossing the center line several times, and I believe that you might not. I believe that you're an impaired driver, so I want to see what your impairment is. I can't pull up and say, hey, see, what you doing? Do you know I pulled you over? That's not how it works. So the officers have to tell you why they stopped you. This is your right. Okay? If they fail to do that, I'm not going to say they're unprofessional. I'm just going to say that they're supposed to. So before you get into any arguments, you should ask them why they stopped you. Now, this is the one something I teach now when I go to public events. Most of y'all got a smartphone. Download you some recording app. The minute the lights come on behind you, cut your recording app. Record the whole traffic stop. The audio. Now, if you want to put the phone somewhere so you can see it, fine, record the video. This is in Georgia now. I'm telling you what the Georgia law says. The Georgia law says that as long as I'm part of a tape, I can take whatever I want to. So I don't need anybody's consent. I don't have to tell them you're being taped. As long as I'm part of it, that's all that matters. So if you run across a bad cop who has a problem with this, and let's say he takes your phone, let's say he ends it. Well, most of y'all, if you got these smartphones, you got everything set up to go to your memory or to your cloud or whatever. So if any of this happens, it automatically stores. So even if you trash your phone goes to the cloud. One of my students was in a car wreck. She took pictures. The girl who hit her said, "Hey, I don't have my phone. Can I use your phone?" And she took the girl's phone, and she was act like she used it, but she deleted all the pictures. Now, understanding these pictures still go to the cloud. Once you take them, they're automatically saved to whatever backup system you got. So make sure you got a backup system. But this is one of the things I tell people: a cop that's right doesn't worry about you taping, filming, anything else. What he doesn't want you to do is, while I'm talking to you, I don't want you holding this phone in your hand. Why don't I want you to hold this phone in your hand? Because they're a phone gun. So I need for your hands to be free. Don't get upset when a cop tells you this. All right? This, once again, doesn't automatically give him the right to shoot you. But what you will do, and you can Google phone guns. I'm not going to go over it right now. But you can Google this. Let me see if I can do it while we're talking. But what you can't do is point that weapon toward me. See, while you talking like this, the first time you do like that, see, if it's a phone gun, then I'm shot. So when I tell you to put the phone down, put the fucking phone down. You're not going to win this conversation. Put the phone down. Life is just that simple. Don't pay no attention to me looking down. I'm just typing in phone guns so that I can show you pictures of it while we're talking. So when a cop tells you to put something down, understand why he's telling you. If he's been in my class, he's seen all these makeshift ways of people making guns. This is legitimate. All right, man, take it easy, Mason. So don't think, oh, it's just a phone. That's what, to you, it's just a phone, because you may not be a criminal. But very few criminals just come out and say, hey, guess what? I'm a criminal. I'm here to kill you. So we need you to clear your hands. I teach this. I will always teach this, as long as they're making these makeshift guns and, they got these little play guns that look real. Who's supposed to know? Am I supposed to wait till a projectile comes out and makes me bleed? Oh, shit, I want to play gun. Oh, he's just 12. Why would he have a real gun? Well, as a parent, why would you buy a real gun? So, yeah, we not, like I said, if he tells you to let it go, let it go. It ain't worth your life. And he can find way more. He could find something that support his case with that one. So just don't do it. Because you may not like what's going on, but it still is what it is. Alright, so I don't know if y'all can see that. But see, this right here, let me see if I can. Alright, see this? Look like a regular phone. See that? That's how a lot of phone cases look. But then see that? It's a gun. All you do is just drop that piece down and it's a gun. And see how it looks like a phone? So when you say you don't understand this, Nobody cares whether or not you understand, because right then, it's not my job to make you understand. It's my job to give you legal lawful orders. And I'm telling you to drop something that could be perceived as a weapon, because how am I supposed to know whether your phone is a gun or not? Well, this one got a case on it, so you can't see the ports. But that's pretty much what they look like. And that's well, you can't tell from the case, but it's got it's got the jack like most of them got, but this is a 22. A 22 will penetrate a vest. Okay, so right, Travis, what's happening? So these things are legitimate, and people say, "Oh, it was just this," but that's because you thinking like an innocent person, which is cute, but not realistic, because you don't know. And ignorance is no excuse, because when I teach officer survival, this is what I teach, because this is what's real. And this is what I got to get officers to know. Remember now, I was trained to be a killer. I was trained to kill cops. They taught me different ways to do these things. Most of y'all probably never even seen that. Look like a camera, right? But you see the little shell? It's a gun. Now, all you got to do is just have 1 or 2 bullets, and you don't need this extension for the bullets. So this is why I tell people, thank you, Jamise, and this is a camera. It's got the handle and everything. So you can act like you're holding it. But when you point this at some of us, and I got to teach my guys that these things exist. As a regular person, you might not know. But this is why you have to keep your hands clear. You have to keep your hands clear. People can say what they want to about me and how they feel about what I'm going to do, but I'll never, ever come away from this theory. Keep your hands clear. Period. I saw a picture of a phone gun, but there's no way it can be used unless it's unfolded. Yeah, they are, because all of them don't have the little thing like the one I just showed you. Understand, I just pulled one up. But these are things we've taken from other people, Robert. So just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it exists. Because a lot of them are just pull and shoot. You don't have to do anything extra. Like I said with the camera, there's not a whole lot that you got to do with that one. And that's the first time I seen that one, because I actually saw one that was a I can't think of what the name of it was. But these exist. So when cops are telling you to drop something, let it go. Let it go. It's not that crucial that you hold on to it, because at that point, like I say, if you've got it, and this is a good example, because if I've got it here, and a lot of them got, look in cases like this, well, this is the trigger, because all you need is something that's spring loaded. You don't need a whole lot once you understand how they're operated. And it's just not worth it. So when these things happen, what do? The cop is at a point, you're at a point. You have a legal right to know why you're being stopped. The cop has a legitimate right to be safe first. Once again, I'm not talking specifics of any case, because I haven't watched everything, and y'all know I like to wait till more evidence comes out. But legally speaking, these are your rights. You have a right to know why you're being stopped, but you don't have a right to hold stuff in your hand and he got to understand, because he ain't got to understand. Because I'm telling you that these tools, almost anything can be made into a gun. Anything. And that's what you have to understand. Like I said, don't pay attention to me looking down. I'm Googling stuff so I can show you pictures. So I'm just trying to get this so I can show you guys why certain things happen. So when you get stopped by a cop, remember I told you, now you got a right. You have rights. He has to tell you why he stopped you. And I tell everybody this. You know, if you got one of these smartphones like you all got, cut your recording device on. Either put the phone on your visor or put it right here so they can capture everything. From the minute the lights come on. Okay? Let it all go. Start taping. The law in Georgia is one party. You're that one party. Who do cops get killed by mostly? Leonard, that's a regional thing. Uh, that's a regional thing because I would tell you here where I am in Georgia, most of the cops that I know have been killed by black people. Other places it's different, but you gotta remember now. I mean, we in a black town. We know of white cop killers, but what do I know of? Like I said here, Alameen killed one. Nar Speed killed a white cop. The guy from Fulton County PD. Randolph, what's the guy's Blunt was killed by a black guy. Durham Brown was killed by a black guy. Now, before my time, I'm not sure who they were killed by. So I don't really want to get into who they get killed by most because it's regional and it's time thing. So that part, but Blunt got killed at a red light. Teasley got killed in the courthouse. Kinchin got killed on the warrant pool. The Russian got killed on the 911 call. He was white. Thurber Brown got killed. I would call it a home invasion, but it was pretty much an assassination. So yeah. So that part is, it just depends on where you are and what the climate is. But what I want to know is what I want people to know, because this is what I tell everybody. Because I've had agents get mad at me for telling people the same thing, but I want everybody to know the thing. I want everybody to know the system. When you get pulled over, okay, let me stop. Then everybody's not gonna ever get treated the same. That's a misconception. That's never gonna happen because everybody doesn't act the same. So it's cute to think that, but Leonard, realistically, me and you don't treat everybody the same because everybody doesn't treat us the same. People who are nice and respectful to us, we treat differently. And then somebody who comes off being rude and disrespectful. We may still be professional, but we're not professionally nice like we are to other people. So it's like, oh, well, I want to treat you like this. Well, when I stop some people, they're real nice and friendly. And I'm not saying you have to kiss my ass. Barney was killed by a black guy. So it's just, it's a lot of different variables that go into cop killing. But what I want people to understand is that there's a reason that a lot of us are nervous, even to the point of being scared, and we should be. Somebody say, oh, if you're scared, you shouldn't be doing this job. Well, if you're not scared, you really shouldn't be, because if you're not scared, that means you're stupid and you're looking for trouble. Because every time I got out my car, I was nervous. You could say I was scared a couple of times. Every time I did a traffic stop, I was shitty scared. Traffic stops took me forever because of my fear. Whoever's in that car knows what's in that car. If they got a gun, it's just too many ways I can lose this match. It's just too many ways. People who've been to my class will tell you they should fear people who are walking, because if I got my hands out, and people who knew me from back in the day will tell you, if I could reach out with my hands, I could hurt you. That's what I was trained to do, was to hurt people with my hands. I don't need a weapon, so I would let go of my weapon. And I tell people now, I tell cops, tell people put their hands in their pocket. Tell them to sit on them. I don't care what you do. Take their hands out of play. You can't get the shit knocked out of you if nobody got their hands to use. So people, oh, he wouldn't let me do this. He doing that for your safety for real. There is a time when cops can say, I'm doing this for your safety and my safety. That should be a true statement. But they should do things that are safe. But let me get back into the law and order thing. As a citizen, there's certain things you have to do to maintain your level of safety. And like I say, the recording is the easiest thing. Once again, I'm not trying to justify bad cops. I'm not trying to justify bad people. I'm just telling you, when you got a good cop, a good person, good people want to hold on to their phone because I want to call my mama. I need to call my best friend. And it's cute. It sounds really great. But when I'm pulling you over, I need you to put that phone down, because I've seen these phone guns. I've seen the ones with remote triggers. I don't want you touching nothing. I need you to just put your hands on the steering wheel, because today I ain't seen a steering wheel gun. So this is what I want. And as the one who is the most afraid, even though y'all keep wanting to tell you tell your kids to be scared of cops. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that right now. But right now, if I think you got a gun and I know I got one, I'm not going to wait to see if yours is real or not. So just make me feel safer. Put your hands on the steering wheel or put them on top of your head. When I get pulled over now, I either put my hands on the steering wheel or I like to roll my windows down and grab the door. He can see my hands. There's nothing I can do. Anything, when they pull me over, I try to get my light serious. I ain't grabbing for nothing once he gets there. See, there you go with that. Cops don't kill that many people. A lot of people now because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, Robert. Every cop should be scared because when we get killed, whose fault is it? See, you want to argue about stuff, but you don't ever want, when cops get killed, whose fault is it? When the cops got killed in Dallas, what did they do wrong? When Kenton got killed, what did he do wrong? That's why we're scared, because people are out to kill cops. When you hear about gangs doing initiation, they kill cops. That's why we're scared. We're not scared because of regular people. We're scared because of people that y'all don't want to admit exist. See, when gangs go around killing people, like they do in Chicago, like they do in Atlanta, that's why cops are scared, because who actually goes looking for these people, Robert? Not you, not your friends. They want us to go do it. And so what do these people want to do? They don't want to go to jail. So how do we know what gangbangers look like? Because people don't want us to profile. They don't want us to admit that everybody profiles. We just not supposed to profile based strictly on race or sex. But everybody does it. Everybody does it. When you see a girl walking around with skin tight shorts at 2 in the morning, everybody thinks the same thing. Nobody thinks that, dang, her car must have broke down on the way leaving the club and she probably going to Waffle House. Nobody thinks that. So a lot of people are dying because a lot of people who look like us are killing them. If we want to get into that argument, Robert, because racists kill more than any cops could ever do. You can match all the cop killings. You can look up all of them by race and bound them all together and see if they surpass what Chicago is doing. And I'm going to tell you the answer is no. You're right. But when people like you want to say that people dying because cops are scared, you make it one-sided and you make it unfair. And people ain't scared. People just don't want to listen. Like I said, I've had people who didn't want to put their phones down, and I had to punch them to make them drop the phone. Turned out it was a real phone, which is all to the good. All they got was a punch for it. But you're going to let that phone go when I'm talking to you. All right, well, if a cop tells me he's doing something for our safety, I can understand that. But I got an asshole the last time I was pulled over in my AT&T truck and he handcuffed me. Why? Thought I had a gun at work. And like I say, Leonard, and like I say, I can't knock him if that's what he did, because sometimes you don't want to tell people these things. Like I say, if the odds ain't in your favor, when I'm too nervous, the guy I had to punch, sir, put the phone down. It's my right. I can have. When he said that, I hit him. Because I'm not finna sitting here and argue with you, because now you distracted me from what my real purpose is. My real purpose is to get you to let that gun go. Or, I'm sorry, not the gun. I need you to free your hands. I will take my chances fighting most people. But I can't. There's no bullet I can beat. The S on my chest doesn't allow me to beat bullets. So I can't say, and let them understand this. There are times that we are assholes, and I go through this with people. Because if you don't know what my last call was, what my call was 2 calls ago, and this is an agency problem. This is the one problem that should be addressed by departments before it gets to you. Because if I came from a scene where somebody got killed, if I came from a scene where a child was hurt, raped, or whatever, I'm a little bit more sensitive, and I'm a whole lot more cautious. And I got an attitude because if that's the case, he shouldn't be a cop. He's going to let that affect him. So you want me to be insensitive, but you want me to be sensitive. So it doesn't work like that. And Leonard, once again, Leonard, it's easy to say in hindsight, but you never know what he's been through. You know, I got a complaint. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I did a thing with College Park. A cop left a scene of some kids that had been molested by the dad. So he's on the way to get the dad. I'm sorry, not the dad. Mama's boyfriend. He's on his way to his job to get him. On his way to get him, he see one car hit another car. It's a minor fender bender. But because he's there, he got to do something. But he still need to get to this guy. So when he's there, the guy who hit the other guy started becoming aggressive. I'm getting this shit, da 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 da, and he hit him. He was wrong. He was dead wrong. But based on the car he was on, he should have never been out like that anyway. Because those kind, in my opinion, they do need decompressing because cops are regular people. We do have feelings and emotional. We don't know what triggers all of them because some people are sensitive to one sort of crime. Some people are sensitive to another crime. So what makes a cop, where's his button? We don't always know. But anytime a cop goes to, in my professional opinion, when you go to a traumatic scene, you should not have to go to another scene following that. You should be put on desk duty after that, at least for the rest of the night, so that you got time to decompress. Because you need to go through that. You need to talk that out with somebody. Anybody who can tell me, who's been a cop, that can go to a scene where kids have been raped or murdered, you can't finish your patrol out as a regular cop because your mind keeps going back to that scene. And if you got kids, you're not letting that go. It's not going to go in 2 hours. It's not going to go in 4 hours. It's not going to go in 8 hours. So the next somebody you run into, if they're giving you the blues about something, about what you should be doing, yeah, I want to be out chasing these people, but you running red lights, you running stop signs, you doing this, so I can't. And that's why I'm trying to get the great understanding is, Leonard, Myron, what's going on? Let's just say I pull you over after you had an argument with your girlfriend. She put you out, she threatened that she ain't gonna let you see the kids no more. You're a little emotional. When I pull you over, you're not speaking coherent. You want me to understand you. So if you're emotional from your little event, I'm emotional from my little event, that's a deadly mixture. We can't train cops to deal with stress and stops. One, because there just ain't enough of them. Because in some places, if every cop who goes to a murder scene, if we put them on desk duty, some people ain't gonna have no cops for the whole night. Because sometimes these murder scenes get out of hand. They don't know a white old lady mindset. But when was the last time you seen a white old lady on the side of the road with handcuffs on? And see, I'm gonna take myself out of that one. One of the fights I had was with this little old white lady. This little heifer with this umbrella was nothing to play with. In an affluent side of town, but you can only hit me with an umbrella so many times. She got 2 in before I could do anything because I never expected that to come out of her. So from my perspective, and people who have been running in with me say that if you can't sit down on your hands and put your hands in your pocket, I'm going to handcuff you. If you resist that, I'm going to punch you. Because I'm going to win this argument and I need you to stop doing whatever you're doing that's making me feel threatened. Because I don't want to sit around and talk to you with my gun. So, and like I said, Leonard, that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is based on knowledge, training, and experience. That's what I tell people. You don't know people's different levels of knowledge, training, experience. Like, I got people on here who are cops with me, but we didn't do the same things. They don't understand. Hell, why do you like to fight? It's just what I was comfortable with because I don't like shooting people. There were 2 times I should have shot somebody. I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong because I took too many unnecessary risks not to shoot. I put too many other people in danger because I didn't want to shoot. Everything, even by the way I teach, said that shots should have been fired and it should have been fired by me. I never even unholstered my gun. I was dead wrong. You look like a good guy in the end, but even when I'm being honest with myself, I put too many people at risk by not trying to get somebody shot. It's the dumbest thing I ever done. But you know they say, go watch out for stupid people and kids. So there's a time, and like I said, sometimes we just don't see stuff and people don't explain it to us in a way we can understand. But once again, I want people to understand, you have rights, but you don't have a right to be on your phone. You don't have a right to do anything that makes me feel threatened. So when I'm telling you to stop doing this, stop recording me. Ain't a valid command. Like I said, you can put the phone down, you can leave it on your visor, but it's here, or it's there. I ain't seen a remote for a gun yet, and I'm sure somebody will make one because they will. But if the phone is sitting this way, the gun ain't going to shoot toward me because it ain't going to come through the glass. So it can either go that way or that way. This is what we're worried about when it's pointed toward us. So when you're doing this, you swing toward me. Now, if this is where your bullets are, or hell, you might be like this playing. Now you pointing the business end of the gun toward me. So we need for you to stop that. Robert, I saved lives, but it was still stupid because I could have cost more lives. Had they really wanted to shoot, once they got me, they was gonna get 3 or 4 other people because everybody couldn't have shot through me. So I would have put people unnecessarily at risk. It sounds good in hindsight, so you say lies. But had I not been extremely good at the fighting thing, it wouldn't have turned out well. I mean, I've taken guns from people who had their hands on the gun, but I teach weapon disarming. I teach it. It's not that I'm scared of guns. It's just I have a better knowledge of how some of them work, and I've trained for this. But most people don't train to take guns from people. It's not like that shit you see in the movies where you grab it and it ain't like that. It's not that easy. It's really not. Even for a guy who was an expert like me, it ain't that easy. So, but my training and experience got me there. But everybody don't go through that. And even once I started teaching, and I started telling people how easy it was to kill cops, and I show these videos, and I show these little tools that people never thought about, it's my job to make them more cautious at their job, even at the expense of your being catered to. I got stopped by a College Park officer. Didn't know him. Great dude. Because I was agitated when he stopped me. Not at him. I was already agitated by something else. And when he said something to me, I realized the first time I probably snapped at him. And before I knew it, he had me handcuffed. This shit was so smooth. It was so smooth. Because I was watching to see what he was going to do. I was watching him. Damn, he got that first cuff on me. He didn't hurt me. He turned it just a little bit to get my undivided attention. And when he made me let go, he cuffed me with the other hand. But he took the fight out of me just like that. Not that I wanted to fight, but I was agitated. So once we got everything situated, because he called for a backup officer, and the backup officer knew me. He's like, man, that dude, he worked there so. And I said, why'd you cuff him? He said, because you were exhibiting aggressive tendencies. And I didn't want to fight with you. So I just needed to, I was breaking the law, I was speeding. Technically, speeding doesn't require that you cuff me. Write me a ticket going on. But he felt threatened, and he should have felt it because it was what I was putting out, even though it wasn't toward him. But he felt my aggressive vibe. I couldn't be mad at that because I knew in my heart of hearts I was being aggressive. Even though it wasn't toward him, my tone was condescending. My tone was, who the F are you? Why are you stopping me? So, I mean, that's what I said. Sometimes I just can't get upset about certain things because people say the officer wasn't as nice as I wanted him to be. You never know what they've been through. So sometimes it just is what it is. They need what's the MCO, military code of justice? Well, I won't say that. I said sometimes bad people make it hard for good people. Because I can tell people when I teach, and I teach officer survival, 95% of the people that you run into don't want to hurt you. I'm not training you for them. I'm training you for the 5% that want to hurt you, who really want to hurt you. And what I need for you to do is to be ready for that 5% all the time. Because it's the ones that who will kill you. And so, yeah, if it means you got to make other people uncomfortable, you get a couple of complaints because you weren't officer friendly, I can live with those. I can live with that a whole lot better than you being nice to everybody and you miss that one person who's out to kill you because they're playing a role. I teach officers don't shake people's hand. Oh, why you can't shake hands? I tell them, don't shake hands. Nobody you don't trust with your life. Most officers are right-handed. If you shake my right hand and you dip up under me and break my elbow, then that means I can't shoot. And that means I'm there for the taking. People don't understand that because they've never been a cop. Or they've never had people who deliberately look out to try to get them. See, we're easy to identify. We wear uniforms. So when people come up and they being all friendly and stuff, you never know. It's a bait system. Does that mean everybody's out to kill cops? No. But all it takes is one. When Inglis and Kitchen stopped Elamine, they had a misdemeanor warrant. It was a misdemeanor warrant. Turned into a double shooting. It's a misdemeanor warrant for a person named Police. Turned into a double shooting. So how do you explain that? There was nothing about that should have been violent or aggressive. But That's what happened. So when we do things, you never know what is going on. Yeah, but tough rules make the 5% think about what they're doing if they're doing wrong. But the 95% have to pay for that 5%. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes cops do things, and I hear people saying, and then, me and you argue about everything. And I understand when people complain about stuff, and that's why I have to tell people sometimes it's just part of the business. We not all in a good mood all the time. It's just the way it is sometimes. But as long as they're professional, he handcuffed you. He let you go. He didn't hit you. He didn't shoot you. All that stuff. But he made sure he was safe, which is rule number one. Because the minute I ain't safe, ain't nobody safe. So I won't veer away from that training because it is what it is. Don't pay me no attention. I'm still working. Like I say, but sometimes people want to say this or say that. And it is what it is. Because of that 5%. And it's the same thing. Bad cops, people who read it and they hear about these bad cops, when they run across a good cop or a decent cop, and they're giving him shit because of this, and they telling him what he can't do. You pushing him away from the good cop to you pushing him too much. Hey, Holly. You're pushing him too much to the wrong side of the fence. He's just trying to do his job. He wants to go home like everybody else. He knows that there are people out there who wait for him to make a mistake to kill him. They wait for him to make a mistake. He had 4 other cops there who had their hands on. You're right. Once again, Leonard, and I ain't knocking your experience because you my dude, but you don't know what happened prior to that. You don't. And unfortunately, he's not obligated to explain any of that to you. Once they get through, his obligation is, if you broke a crime that was jailable, take you to jail. Leonard, you on Facebook right now, so your safety was, were you hurt? Did you end up in the hospital? So you made it safely. You were just uncomfortable. I can deal with uncomfort. You do, cop choose to shoot where, Robert, you asked, if you got a knife, Robert, and you within 21 feet, I couldn't shoot you before you stabbed me. Statistics prove that. It's not going to happen. 21 feet. 21 feet, Robert. It's 2 basketball goals. At 21 feet, there's no way I can get a gun. I can get my gun out and get a good shot on you if you got a knife. Why do cops choose to shoot where there are vital organs? Because we shoot to stop instead of low extremity. Robert, have you ever tried to hit somebody in the arm or the leg? It's a small target. Go to the range and have somebody move where they actually only move back and forth. Trying to shoot somebody in a little bitty target is not going to happen. It doesn't even make sense. You play football. What do they tell you to hit? What do they tell you to hit? Why do they tell you to hit in this area? Because it's the biggest portion. It gives you room to miss. If you try to hit somebody in the ankles, you're not finna. And you come with your big body. A bullet is this big. Center mass. That gives you, if you're shooting here, that gives you all of this room to miss. If I'm shooting here, there's not much room to miss. There's not. So people say, don't get TJ Hookeritis into thinking that, oh yeah, you see cops, oh they shoot people's earrings off. That was sheer effing luck. Pure and simple. SWAT guys can't make that shot. And they sit there and they train to make pinpoint shots. But they shoot at the head. They don't shoot for a cheekbone. You know why most of them shoot for the head? Because most of the time if there's a hostage, the hostage is covering center mass. Okay? But most of them are shooting for the stem of the neck because if it's a SWAT call, it means it's already deadly force has been authorized. This will stop everything. But guess what? Most of them still can't hit that either because it's such a small area and people moving. Very few people stand still and say, shoot me, shoot me. It just doesn't happen like that. Gangbangers don't shoot for arms or legs. They just shooting whatever they hit, they hit. Just happens most time they hit. It's because this is the easiest area to hit. When I was in Georgia, I would give the gun license. Please shoot to kill, period. Shoot an organ while shooting twin. No, please don't shoot to kill. Please shoot to stop. Nobody knows what'll kill you other than a shot to the base of the skull, which will it'll sever the connection between your brain and your spinal cord. That's the only shot that will always kill, period. Not even shots to the heart. Not with a regular handgun anyway, because it won't make your heart explode. See, so when we put out misinformation on things that we think, what's good, Charlie? You came here, you didn't even holler at me. And we as a race, we promote a lot of bad information because we don't know. And when somebody tries to tell us, all we do is we fight against it. But it's not that easy. Get your water pistol, get your Nerf gun, play with your kids, try to hit them in the arm or the leg. It's not going to happen because it's moving. But it's easy to hit them in the body. That's why when you play laser tag or any of these other games, where's the laser tag? It's in the body. They don't put them on the legs or the arms. When you play these, what's the games that people play with the camo mask where they all in the field running and shooting each other? They all shooting at center mass. That's where everybody learns to shoot. Sons, you getting old. So, I mean, and it's cool. It's cute that we keep saying things, but we never take any responsibility. Like I said, I'm sitting here showing you the different types of guns that are out there that most people don't know about. But how does a cop know if you're that person who knows about them or even has one? Because when they put their phone gun up, oh man, the people who talk about that's cool. I want to get one. I want to get one. Why would you want to get up? Why would you want to get a phone gun? Who does that? Who does that? And then you wonder why. But because you're that person, when I pull you over, I'm supposed to know automatically that you're not. 20 shot center mass is the kill. Okay. And I'm gonna go through this with you. If you've never been in that situation, most cops who shoot have no idea how many times they shoot because it's sensory overload. If they shot 20 times, depending on what else is going on, sometimes they would shoot. Sometimes that is pure fear because you listen to the tape, you listen to the voice, you look at their emotions, and we teach shoot to stop. See, most cops are taught 2 center mass, 1 to the head. Most of them never get this shot because they can't focus. It sounds good, we train it, but most of them can't do it. Boom, 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 boom. It's easy to do on a paper target. It's easy on a paper target. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, boom, bam. But let's say a guy like me, who is not a good shot, I'm never going for this one. I'm not that good a shot. I like to fight. But all the games that we play are center mass. I'm a pretty good shot. I can hit you in the leg every time. I bet you can't, Robert. I bet you can't, Leonard. I'm willing to bet you can't, especially if I'm moving. Leonard, that's a crazy statement. I know snipers who can't do leg shots on a moving target. It's not gonna happen. But guess what? When you're moving at center mass the same, all I do is track it and know where it's gonna go. I can't determine how you're gonna step. Center mass is this, leg is that. You might hit it on a target in a gun range. You're not hitting it on a moving target. If you think you're that good, Leonard, go to one of these places where they got fat simulators and tell them you can hit somebody in the leg on a fat simulator. It ain't happening. Everybody says it because they see it on TV. I'm here to tell you. It's like I had to get one of my friends to do the gun challenge. Put your kid at the end of a car. You stand on one end. Put a gun in your holster and tell your kid to run as fast as he can to try to stab you for a free pizza and see if you can get your gun out and do anything. You can't. You can't. One, you can't run backwards and draw. You working in reverse. If you turn around and run from him, you still ain't gonna pull it because now you're jostling, your hands are moving, your gun is moving with your waist. You ain't finna get it out. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But everybody wanna tell me what they think because they've never done it. It sounds good. You watch TV, oh man, they did this, man, that man shot him in the leg. Police should be able to do that. Shooting somebody in the leg is, trying to shoot somebody in the leg or the arm or the hand is one of the dumbest things going. Most people get shot in the hand because they got their hands up here somewhere, if it's by a cop. Or it's a purely lucky shot. A lot of cops ain't good shots because they don't plan to shoot. They just don't. I think that's it. Fats with an S. Because they got like 100 different scenarios. That's why good boxers always put in work to the body. Exactly. Because that is the biggest part of the body. It's the biggest part. But people want to tell them what they see on TV or what they think. And that's just simply not how it works. So some cops are good cops put in bad situations. They don't get up. They don't have an opportunity to do anything else. Everybody wants them to do something else. I tell people, what's your only question, Holly? Is I went to a call and a lady, mother called about her son who's trying to kill her. But she don't want me to kill him. Now he willing to kill you, his mama, but you want me to go in there and do what? He got a knife. He's inside. What is it you want me to go in there and do again? You want me to talk to him. So he going to talk to a stranger but not his mother. People got unrealistic expectations. It's okay. Go ahead and ask her, Holly. So, and people say these things, like I said, because they've never been put in that situation. But I guarantee you it's not going to happen. Thank you, Melinda. And that you see that, Leonard? Fats, Firearms Training Simulator. Why didn't who have any takers? Holly. Murph, your boys got any questions? Like I say. Oh, why not? Because everybody doesn't approve of tasers. Because tasers, when you give cops intermediate weapons, lots of cops have gotten hurt because they use them and they don't work. Tasers work in certain situations. It's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. I have tasers. I believe in tasers. But they don't work on everybody. For tasers to have maximum effectiveness, you need to shoot somebody in the back. If you shoot them in the chest area, tasers work on muscles. There's not a lot of muscles in the front. There's mostly bone. The tasers don't have the same effect. In the back, you got the back muscle to tighten up. You just don't have the same. Here, you're going to get the abs to tighten up. Your abs tightening up will not stop you from doing anything. Once I lock your muscles out and then your arms are connected to all that, I control a whole lot more. So the tasers don't have the effect that most people think that they would, because you need to be behind somebody. We had the pepper spray. Pepper spray works differently on people. Pepper spray, you got to know the wind. You got to get them in the right place, because with pepper spray, you know what they teach us to start to spray? At this small area again. So if somebody's moving, the wind is blowing one way, pepper spray is hit or miss. I tased a guy 3 times, and he still had fight in him. Murph, say the word. You know I got you. Just let me know when. Because I for this I can talk to people live, because this is what I know. I don't have to prep for any of this. But yeah, I tased a little skinny drunk dude with a taser 3 times. 3 times. He locked up and started back walking like Walking Dead. I hit him again. He didn't even stop that time. 3rd time I hit him, he just yanked all of them out. What you do? Impact weapons ain't gonna work. I got 2 choices now. I can break his leg. That'll stop him from walking. I can let him hit me and break his arm. That'll stop him from swinging with one hand. Or I can shoot him and stop the whole situation. Because he's coming toward me, clearly agitated. Tasers hurt. I've been tased more times than I care to remember. They shut me down every time. Shut me down. This guy just went through 3 taser shots. And blinked twice? What should I do? Should I wait to see how strong he is? Luckily for me, there was something for me to hide behind. So I hid and waited for some more backup, and I hit him with a metal tray in the base of the skull. That dropped him. But once again, we talking about my knowledge training experience. I try my best not to shoot. I went through some different options. For that, I should have been suspended. Here's my the base of skull, the metal tray is not part of what anybody has ever taught me. If you're my husband, I want you to do exactly what the officer did. Thank you. But understand, if you ain't been through a traumatic experience, you don't know how to respond to a traumatic experience. Some people, as soon as you call them a dirty word, they want to fight because they've never had that before. And some people have, and they can take a whole lot more. Thank you, Charlie. It's all about your knowledge, training, experience. The more bad things you've been through, the more bad things you can handle. But if you haven't been through them, which is why I'm so bent on saying customer service needs to be part of the requirement to become a cop now, along with more scenario-based training. Melinda's on here. Melinda can tell you. Melinda is one of my favorite students. Melinda, we did Crimes in Progress. Melinda had a choice to make because I grabbed Melinda's partner. You still here, Melinda? I grabbed Melinda's partner. Melinda pulled a pistol on me, which is what she should have done initially because clearly they were not going to take me. They couldn't beat me no matter what they thought was going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. I got the drop on them. Her partner made a mistake that let me get the drop on everybody, and I used her partner as a shield. So Melinda didn't have a shot. Melinda kicked the shit out of me. Melinda made me stop with them 2 kicks. Melinda hurt me. Most people wouldn't have been smart enough to kick me. I don't teach kicks, but she improvised because shooting was not the right option. But at the point when she drew her weapon, it was the correct choice because I was going to kill her partner based on the scenario. I was going to kill her. I had her in the chokehold. There was nothing her partner could have done to get away from me. Nothing whatsoever. All I needed to do, I needed so desperately for Melinda to back up so that I could get up with her partner and walk toward Melinda. And I was going to get both of them. Melinda beat me to the punch. She kicked me before I could get up. The first one got my attention because I was like, damn, this little girl kicked me pretty good. I couldn't roll over quick enough to block the second kick. The second kick, oh my God. The second kick locked my leg up and it hurt me something fierce. I let her partner go because the pain was so intense. And it was funny because she picked the one way to beat me. I didn't know I left that option open. Problem most black people are having is seeing black men being killed, yet actual white men who are shooting at cops being taken alive. We want to be taken alive too if we have attitudes. All right. What time? It's 7:40. Let me just address this. The elephant in the room. And people can feel how they want to feel. Understand, I'm here because my honesty. As a race, we glorify killing more than anybody else. Yes, white people kill. But they don't make songs about it. They don't make shows about it. They don't make videos about it. They leave manifestos. They will write about it. But we glorify it on a regular basis. We talk about killing people who step on our shoes in clubs. We talk about all kinds of stuff. So yes, when you're looking at what knowledge, training, experience says, if you don't know somebody because you missed out on this customer service, you got to believe some of this stuff is true based on what you see, what you hear. Now, what we don't get, once again, Leonard, you didn't like this cop that handcuffed you. But guess what you did? You walked away from it. And that's what we don't want to acquiesce to. Most cops, even the bad ones, don't do shit. But nobody wants to address that. White people are killed too. Google this, because I had to do this for SCLC, and I hate the name drop, but I don't with them. Google unarmed white men killed by black cops. And you'll come up with some, but you don't hear nothing. Even the girl in Minnesota. And I don't want to get deep into the race relation, but lots of people are taken alive. Oh my God. The guy that killed, the last guy that killed Fulton County sheriffs was taken alive. Oh, Melinda, what's the guy's name? Melinda, you still there? What's the guy's name that did the courthouse killing? He was taken alive. the guy that killed Blunt, taken alive. The guys that killed Derwin Brown, taken alive. So we keep saying they're not taken alive, but it's more of them not. It's just not as sensationalized. And so a lot of this is how we perceive the news and how we want to make isolated incidences into the norm when they're not the norm, Leonard. Most people who watching this show, I would say, have been pulled over by police one time or another, and most of them are still here. They were unarmed, with the exception of Holly and I think 2 other people. Everybody's on here is black. Brian Nichols, yeah, thank you, Travis. Most of them were black. They lived through it. So when we keep saying that people don't, they do. Don't get me wrong, I can't defend bad cops. But there's some scenarios where white people didn't live through them. We don't want to talk about those. Leonard, you my dude. The media doesn't make us look like monsters. Check out World Star Hip Hop. Check out TMZ. We do it to ourselves. Tupac said we have to change the way we live, the way we eat, the way we treat each other. Once we change that, then it's a whole different perspective. Don't get me wrong, Chinese people do it, but you don't hear rap songs. You don't see them on TV like you see us. You don't see them popping up everywhere glorifying it. And this ain't to say, again, that all black people do it, but you got to remember, from a cop's mentality, everybody we run into. And I tell people, treat everybody. Talk to them with respect, but treat them like they're there to kill you, because you don't know. No killer's going to just raise his hand and say, hey, guess what? I'm here to kill you today. But you got to have that mindset. Be cautious, be leery, be careful. You did just say that we sensationalize killing, and most of us have never. Right. And once again, because we take the worst and make it the most. But I shot the sheriff by Eric Clapton. Right? This white boy talking about killing the sheriff. But it's clear, I didn't shoot the deputy. But look at what most of our rappers do. Right, but that's my point, Leonard. It's just a few. It's just a few bad cops. But everybody want to talk about a bunch of them. Because you can't. Atlanta got 1,000 cops. 1,000. 1,000 officers. Between Atlanta, Fulton County, and it's probably more than that when you can. How many killings do we have? So if you got 3 killings, let's just say you got 3 in Atlanta. 3 killings, if it's 100 people, that's 3%. If it's 1,000, that's less than 3%. It's less than 1%. But people keep wanting to say, cops this, cops that. But it's a true minority. But I'm watching these posts where people say, oh yeah, I got to talk to my kids about cops now because I'm scared for them. The chances are greater that your child is going to get killed by one of his peers for giving up too much information, for going to a party, for going to a club, for stepping on somebody's shoes, than a cop. But we don't want to talk about that because we like to talk about other people killing us. It's okay if Murphy killed me. It's okay if Johnny L killed me. But if Holly killed me, oh, it's holy hell. That's something that we put out. That's something that we put out. Why do we put that out there? So if we want to be treated different, we have to act different. We have to be more responsible. We have to teach each other these are the things to do. And and Leonard, you making my point for me. That is not that is them, not us. That is just a few. It's just a few cops out there who bad. They just make it bad for everybody else. It's a few black people out there who bad. They make it bad for everybody else. There are a few white people out there who are bad. They make it bad for everybody else. And I was telling somebody. See, y'all got me so distracted. This ain't what I'm supposed to be talking about. See, when I go to the projects, I ain't scared. Familiarity breeds contempt. When I go to the projects, very rarely do I ever touch my gun. And I know that they're armed. But I know these people. I know them. I know the mindset. But the first time I had to go to a trailer park, I had my gun out. I don't know them. I was scared. I was so fucking scared that it was a shame. I don't know these people. I know what my mind tells me about people in trailer parks. But because I don't have anything to base it on, real or not, all I'm doing is this. 500 bodies in Chicago. 87% by the same race. And I bet that 87%, we probably make up the most of that 87%. Have there been 500 cop killings throughout the country? but we don't want to address the elephant in the room. And that's, to me, that's the problem. It ain't that I think that cops are better than anybody else. It's not that I think military people are better. I mean, everybody has their own responsibility in the system, but we can't just keep acting like we don't play any blame in it. Cops play a blame. I'm to blame for some things as a cop. I didn't teach cops. I didn't train cops as hard as I should have sometimes. I don't teach black people as much as I should sometimes. I got fussed at about not doing a Law and Order series because I have this knowledge I should share. And I told people the reason I don't get into black activism is sometimes I just don't give a shit. Because as I try to explain stuff to people, there are more people who want to argue with me about things they don't have a clue about. Once it's like I said, I can't talk to a woman about having a baby, what she should or shouldn't do. I ain't never had a baby. I ain't going through pregnancy, so I can't say, oh, you, why you can't breathe? What's so? Come on. I ain't never been through that. But I've been a cop, I've been a veteran, and I've been a black man all my life. So I got three different areas of expertise that will never leave me. And when I try to tell people these things, well, I'm not one of the lucky ones. Leonard, you got pulled over by cops. Me and my brother got pulled over by two cops. We got pulled over by a black cop. Tommy, speak on this. The black cop that pulled us over, was he or was he not extremely professional? And for some reason, he was professional. But if I was a killer, he missed all of that. Because he never addressed me. And I'm sitting in the back with a gun on. We got pulled over by a white cop. Professional. Nobody gave us any problems. And if you saw Tommy, you see me and Tommy together, we got to be two of the most suspicious looking dudes in the same place at the same time. But nobody gave us any grief. Why? And we wasn't all shucking and jiving, and it just is what it is. Most people have lived through traffic stops. Most people have lived through police citizens encounters. But they don't want to admit that. (2015) roughly is 16,000 same race murders for the year. 2,600 were black on black. FBI stats, there's not a large percent considered 39 million black people. What? I don't know where you got 26, because that would mean that, 13,000 were something else. Yeah, I changed it to FBI. I knew you didn't mean Fib. I know you special, Leonard. It's the Houston thing in you. But that's all I'm saying is we want to generalize too much, but we don't want people to generalize when it comes to us. And you can't have it both ways. Like I said, Leonard, I can't tell you why the cop did what he did, but like I tell you, I've done the same thing. There have been times when, based on what's going on, people might have thought I was not the most professional. I wasn't as courteous as they wanted me to be. Guilty. It's not my job to be courteous. It's my job to be professional. It's my job. It's my life to go home. So there's a whole lot of different dynamics that's going on from both parties. People want us to understand, and I'm speaking as a cop now. People want cops to understand what's going on in their world. But people have to understand what's going on in cops' world. There are too many people. See, regular people don't get to go to roll call when we get an anonymous tip that, hey, there's going to be people out looking to kill cops today. We still got to go to work. We can't, they're not going to let us just say, okay, we ain't going to do nothing today. So when we get a 911 call, we don't know if it's legitimate or not. So yeah, we're a little bit more on edge. And when people do things that we've seen that's led to other cops' death, we become just a little bit more edgy. For years, I trained. Don't ever ask people to see their hands, which is a cop staple. Cops love to say, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. Ask if you ever meet English, because English was one of the first ones who gave me credit for this, because I met with grief on this, because I've been teaching this for 1,000,000 years. What got them shot was they asked Elamine, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. He turned around with the AK-47, doing what they said. Doesn't make me a great instructor. I mean, I'm a great instructor anyway. But because I went through a training where they taught me how to kill cops, and they told me in the training, this is through criminals, every cop will say the same thing. They're going to say, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. So if you already got a gun in your hand, when they let you in your hand, you just turn around and shoot them because they ain't gonna have their guns out. Because when I first started, you couldn't take your gun out until somebody was shooting at you. You couldn't take it out. You couldn't take it out, as I say, because see, and I tell people when I got it out, if everything's going right, I can put it back. But if it's in the holster and the shit hit the fan, I ain't gonna never get it out because I'm panicking. You can't train. Okay, this is what I want you to try to do. Ergang, what's good? This is my task for all of y'all, so you'll understand how fine motor skills work. I want you to run. Just run to the mailbox, run to the garbage can, run with your phone in your hand, and try to call somebody while you're running, and tell me how that works. Now, imagine if you were a cop and you can't even see the phone, but you're trying to get into much. You gotta hit the unsafe. You gotta unsnap it. Do all the things that make your weapon safe. That gun is not coming out. With somebody shooting at you, you just run into the garbage can or to the mailbox. There's no threat. You're just running, and you can't do it. Imagine if somebody was chasing you. How your kids chase you. Again, it's good to practice stuff with your kids because often on free pieces they can catch you. So ask your kids to chase you to a certain point before you can call somebody with them chasing you. Don't cheat and use babies. Use kids who can run. Offer them a free piece if they catch you before you can call your significant other. See how well you can do it. Y'all got me so distracted. This was not what this show was supposed to be about. And I ain't got but 5 minutes left. And tell me y'all was cheating. I ain't even been drinking my blue. And it's good today. So, but we gotta train everybody. I've been tasked and I took it on. I'm gonna do some videos on what to do when you get stopped, when you get pulled over, whether you're on foot, whether you're in a vehicle, as a passenger. Once again, if you want to know something, inbox me so I know what it is you want to know, and I'll talk about it without calling your name. Holly, you on my regular page at the top is my show page. I need you to go to the show page and click like and leave me a review. Mary, I already know you did it. I got you, Chuck. I got you. But this is when I try to explain to people, and like I say, and I meet with resistance, and sometimes it does frustrate me. I don't want to do it, and let me and you fuss all the time, so you know me and you good. But when I try to explain stuff to people, they can keep giving me the what ifs and this happened and this happened. But when we crunch numbers, like I said, I'm not you're in Houston. How many cops for the sheriff's department, and how many killings have y'all had in Houston, or what's the county? Because they offer me a job. What are statistics bear out? Is it less than 1%? Because I know here it's less than 1%. So, and if I look at any race other than Indians, and most foreigners, they gonna, the statistics say it's just not that common. It's not. The Kanika thing didn't have anything to do with black cops, white cops, no cops. It's just not. But you got to understand that when you look up these gun simulations, people are making guns out of almost everything. I mean, I've seen gun lamps with remote triggers. So yeah, when I was working undercover, every time I saw a lamp, I felt the need to touch it to see what it felt like. And, I want to inspect lamps. I want to inspect cameras. I want to see people talk on the telephone. I want to see these things because I'm a little nervous. When I see people pull out phones in restaurants, I'm a little nervous. Because what if it's just somebody who just wants to shoot and run? Because at the first shot, what is most people going to do? Everybody going to duck down. Ain't nobody seen a gun. Somebody with a phone, nobody's even going to recognize that guy. So yeah, every time I see people grab a phone, I cringe just a little bit. Because I don't know who that real 5% is. Because they don't have tattoos that I can see. They're not wearing a name tag. They don't have a M tape stapled on their head for murderer. So cops don't know either. The cops that was sitting at Waffle House, the guy just walks in and starts shooting. What was their clue? The first bullet. That's the only clue that they got. Sometimes people are evil. Sometimes these people infiltrate police organizations. But to sit back and randomly say that all cops are a certain way, or cops shouldn't be scared, or cops shouldn't be sensitive, people keep wanting to hold cops to two different standards at the same time. Be sensitive but insensitive. Care but don't care. So it's almost like cops can't win. But we get all the dirty work. Well, you should be able to do this. You shouldn't get mad because somebody spit on you. Nobody trains you to get spit on. SCLC told me that. I don't. So these are the things that we have to do, but I want to make everybody safe. Cops, citizens, because my friends are citizens. They don't know. But I have to tell them. I'm going to use Holly since she's here. We work at the same place. There have been some aggressive people that come into our establishment. Some have worked with me simply saying some unkind words to them. Very unprofessional. But I never said them loud enough for anybody to hear. But that was what was needed. That's the professional side of me, is saying unprofessional things to get us all on a clearer understanding. Because Holly don't want me to pull out my gun in the establishment, because that presents a bad image. But if I can walk up to somebody and say something to them, they can get as loud as they want to because nobody heard me say anything. And there are certain people who I've spoken to loudly just to let them know I saw them. Even if it was them, hey, what's going on with y'all? I want to know I'm paying attention. Knowledge, training, experience. It's not that I'm better than anybody else. My situations are different. So I address problems differently. I mean, there are times that people probably want me to do more than they saw me do. But as long as everybody walked away, in my word, we all to the good. But in letting people walk away, I have to make a quick assessment. Do I think this will be a future problem that I need to stop now? Most people are good with me simply acknowledging the fact that I see them and knowing that now, hey, I know you and this is not acceptable in this establishment. And 9 times out of 10, it worked. For that 10th person, sometimes I have to be a whole lot more aggressive, and I have to walk outside and say some other things to them. Oh, I ain't like the way he talked to me. There are lots of people who could make that statement, and I would have to plead guilty because I did not talk to them in a professional manner. I did not talk to them like they were adults. But you know what? I got my point across. They walked away unharmed. I walked away unharmed. So, was I wrong? Professionally speaking, yes. At the end of the day, no. And, sometimes that's just the system. You gonna punch me in the mouth? All right, that's the last time for the bow tie because I got less than 60 seconds. I appreciate y'all joining me. Random Thoughts with DVP. Mary, I reached out to you. Leave me an inbox because I need to talk to you. Holly, I will see you Friday. The bow tie. See, you can do it while you're doing nothing else. You don't need a big mirror. All I got is a TV screen in front of me or a telephone screen. All right. Anything you guys want me to talk about, inbox me. Me and my management team will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Or I'll just put on my agenda to talk about. All right. So hopefully I'll know more about the Georgia Tech shooting. I may even know more about the Kanika incident. And I'll maybe talk about those. And we're going to have some fun. Can we talk about relationships? I got some other questions. Oh, but let me end this. Let me end up on this. There is nothing worse. I work for one company, and I do some hiring for them. There is nothing worse than me answering my phone saying, hey, this is Darren Bell, and you introducing yourself to me as Mr. Somebody. That shows me how insecure you are. Normal people don't introduce themselves as Mr. Normal men, and this is for men. Women can do it because they want you to know they're married. But even at a job thing, when you're trying to interview me, telling me you're Mrs. Somebody, especially when you call me Darren. Hey Darren, this is Mr. Chuck Taylor. You come to the job interview and you like, hey Darren, I'm Mr. Taylor. Of course you can use this, Travis. or you can inbox me and tell me what you want me to talk about. All right, Murph, holla at me. Let me go before I get in trouble because my thing says it's 8:01. I ain't even get my 15 minutes, but I was running late, so I'll take the hit for that because I had some work to do. Hines, here you come at 8 o'clock. I'm act like I don't even see you. Tommy, you need to call me. I need to talk to you on some real. All right. Leonard, you're still the man, even though I don't like you. But when I come up to Houston, we're gonna look for some trouble. All right. So y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease till 6 days and 22 hours. Hopefully they'll let me open up my other page. I'm still in Facebook probation. So, peace.